So I'm starting a new series this month called Dry Aging December. Let's start it off by cooking this amazing 35-day dry aged ribeye. We're going to start by trimming our steak and removing some of the pellicle. Season all sides with salt and pepper. Flip after you get a good sear. Add in some butter. Tilt back the pan and baste. Strong crust. And we'll slice into it to get that perfect medium rare. And enjoy! This was absolutely delicious. Stay tuned for more dry aged videos. Let's make a dry aged ribeye steak. We're starting with a 13-pound choice grade ribeye. Get it in your umai dry aged membrane, seal using the immersion method, and we'll dry age for 35 days. 35 days later, this is what we got, and now we'll cut the bag open. As you can see, a beautiful pellicle has formed. We'll slice off a steak. Absolutely amazing. We'll trim the pellicle. We'll season all sides of our steak generously with salt and pepper. Sear in a hot pan. After a good sear, go ahead and flip your steak. Render the fat. Lower the heat. Add some crushed garlic and butter. Tilt back the pan and baste. We'll give it a good rest. Now we'll slice into it to get that perfect medium rare. And enjoy! This was absolutely delicious. Let's make a dry-aged grass-fed ribeye. Beautiful grass-fed ribeye roast from Rostelli's. Place it in your umai dry bag. We'll vacuum seal. Place on a wire rack. And now we'll dry age. 35 days later, this is what we got. Beautifully dry-aged beef. We'll slice the pellicle. Season all sides with salt and pepper. In a hot pan with some oil, go ahead and add your steak in. After a good sear, go ahead and flip. Now I'm going to lower the heat and baste with butter and bay leaves. Tilt back the pan and baste. Now after a good rest, we'll slice into it to get that perfect medium rare. And enjoy! This was absolutely delicious. Today we're dry aging a whole duck. Separate the duck breast. Remove the legs and thigh from the breast. Tie your duck up. 12 days later, this is what we got. Now we'll go ahead and remove the breast from the bone. Remove the breast. Season the flesh side with salt, pepper, and fennel powder. Now season the skin side with just salt. In a lightly oiled pan, go ahead and add your duck skin side down. After the fat has rendered, go ahead and sear the other side. You want to do 80% of the cooking on the skin side. Once it's cooked to your desired temperature, go ahead and remove it from the heat. Now we'll slice into it, and that is absolutely amazing. Pair with the pan sauce. And enjoy! This was absolutely delicious. This is the roasted garlic and herb dry aged steak, and we're gonna cut into it. Add a little bit of avocado oil, wrap them up in an aluminum foil, we'll roast in the oven, and squeeze the garlic in a bowl. Beautiful prime grade rib roast. Cover it with our roasted garlic. Cover our entire roast with rosemary and thyme. Wrap in cheesecloth, and now we'll dry age. 35 days later, this is what we got. Unwrapping it to reveal beautifully dry aged beef. That is absolutely amazing. We'll trim away the pellicle. Season all sides with salt. After a nice dry brine, go ahead and render the fat. Now we'll sear both sides. Flip. Now we'll lower the heat and add some crushed garlic and butter. Now after a good rest, we'll slice into it to get that perfect medium rare. And enjoy! This was super tender, super flavorful, and absolutely delicious. And you get those hints of roasted garlic. Today we're making a dry-aged prime rib. Dry-aged ribeye roast. We'll trim away the pellicle. Season all sides generously with salt. And we'll let this dry brine overnight. In a bowl, combine butter, minced garlic, fresh rosemary, fresh thyme, and some black pepper. And now we'll mix it up. And we'll cover our entire prime rib roast with butter. Place it in an aluminum pan with a wire rack, fat side up. Now we'll get this to the grill. And we'll cook our prime rib at 325 degrees Fahrenheit until we reach an internal temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Give your prime rib a quick 450 degree sear for 5 to 8 minutes. After about a 30-minute rest, we'll slice into it for that beautiful rosy pink. We'll spoon on some of our melted compound butter. This was absolutely delicious. Welcome back to Dry Aged December. This steak was covered in achiote paste and dry aged for 40 days. Let's cook it. These are annatto seeds, also known as achiote. You can also find it in a paste. Beautiful prime grade rib roast. I will cover our entire rib roast with it. Sprinkle on some achiote seeds for good measure. Place it on a wire rack. And now we'll dry age. 40 days later, this is what we got. We'll slice into it to reveal beautifully dry aged beef. We'll trim away the pellicle. Season all sides with just salt. In a lightly oiled pan, go ahead and render the fat. Now lay your steak down. After a quick sear, go ahead and flip. Once it's cooked to your desired temperature, go ahead and remove it from the heat. Now after a good rest, we'll slice into it to get that perfect medium rare. And enjoy. Super tender, super juicy, and you can really taste the achiote. Perfect combination of achiote and that dry aged funk. This was absolutely delicious.